Hello, Jesse Good here, and today I'm opening up the LEGO Star Wars Advent Calendar for 2017. This retails for $40. I got this at Toys R Us, and I'm going to be opening them up day by day. So if you want to avoid spoilers, you can stop watching now and wait until December and literally watch it each day by day. Once you cut open that tape to properly open it, you just flip it upside down. And there you go, pretty nice landscape design. I actually really like the artwork on this one this time around. Usually it feels a little bit weak, and while this doesn't really feel LEGO-like, it still looks pretty nice. So day one, what do we have? Let's see right now. It is a little mini ghost from Rebels. So this little miniature ghost is day one. I like how they're doing some Rebels and actually Force Awakens and Rogue One vehicles later on in this calendar. Kind of switches stuff up a little bit because we get so many prequel and OT builds in these advent calendars usually. Like the coloring on it, the shaping's a little bit off in my opinion, but I guess it's probably the best you could do with this amount of pieces in a small little advent calendar build. So that's it for day one's ghost. Day two is... oh look, it's Sabine Wren. So here's Sabine Wren, and this is cool because it's the one from the Ywing versus the Vader's tie set, which that's a hard to find one with that nice hairpiece. I love that piece. Oh my gosh, glad to have it finally. And you can see on the back she has kind of an angrier face, same face print that they've been using since 2015 for Sabine Wren. But that's it for the figure. Day three is, oh, it seems like the Phantom from Rebels. So a lot of Rebels stuff so far. To go along with Sabine and the Ghost, we got another Rebels vehicle, the little Phantom, which looks pretty nice. I do like this design. I think even better than the Ghost, because it just is a little bit, I think, better in the shaping, but it is a smaller vehicle that I think they did pretty good in this miniature style. Not much else to say about it. And next up, we got day four, who seems to be like a little turret. So for the little turret build, I like this design. I think it works out pretty well, and you can see right when you have it next to a minifigure, it's about the same scale, so I do like that, just for little army building purposes. And there's not too much going on to it that's like Star Wars related, but still it's a nice design. So for day five, I'm guessing this will be a figure to go with the turret. Let's see. And yep, I was right. So here is this little Resistance member. I like that torso because it's kind of unusual. So weird to see Chris Pratt's hair, or I guess this could also double as Chris Stuckman. It sort of looks like him. Either way, he has a blaster and, of course, an alternate face with some back torso printing as well. Day six. Let's see. It is, oh, a First Order troop transport. Wow, that's pretty cool, actually. So our first of the Force Awakens builds is this little troop transporter. Of course, the one that was released in the first wave of the Force Awakens set and also appeared in the first trailer, well, inside at least. And I like this miniature, probably the best out of all the ones we've gotten so far in this little advent calendar. Just looks really well done in its shaping and coloring and everything like that. I even like the little side flaps right there. And yeah, it's just a pretty decent build for such a small little miniature scale. So here is day seven. And it is, ooh, a First Order Stormtrooper. Of course, we have our First Order Stormtrooper. Glad to have another one of these. Glad they're becoming less and less uncommon. And of course, you have that angry clone face. Yes, I know, the Stormtroopers aren't clones, but that's what we call it, the angry clone face. So that's it for this figure. Day 8. And it's just a little bit of, it seems like maybe like a little supply station. So this is a minifigure scale supply box. Of course, you could hold the little blaster on the side as well if you really want to. Nothing too special here, but it's just a little build to, I guess, expand your armies. And for day 9, what do we got? We got, oh, it's Rey Speeder. So Rey Speeder looks very good. I like this miniature scale, even though it is out of scale in terms of some of the other builds. Like, for example, the troop transport's right here. And of course, Rey Speeder isn't that big, but it still looks pretty cute in this design. I like the red coloring and everything. Not too much to say about it, but it's a nice little fresh miniature build. Day 10. And it is, Unkar's Thug, I believe it is. So here's Unkar's Thug, and now if this guy was like easier to get now because he was reprinted in here, that would be fine, but you know these advent calendars are super limited, and he was already easy to get in the first place for a set that you could find in most stores still, which is Rey Speeder. So really kind of a useless reprint for me because Rey Speeder is only 20 bucks, so if you really want this guy, you could have just bought that set, which I think is a better set than this whole advent calendar. Either way, you can see his face print underneath, which he does not have any alternate face printing, and he does have this little crowbar in gold. And number 11, let's see. It is, oh, it's the little Lugabeast, right? I believe it's called. So here's the Lugabeast, and this looks pretty bad in my opinion. I don't like how big that head is. I think that kind of ruins the whole design of this. It looks super awkward in its shaping. It's kind of weird that the back legs are different from the front legs as well. I guess that kind of relates to the actual beast in the movie, but yeah, don't like this build at all, really. All right, so day 12, and we got, oh, a little Millennium Falcon. You have the obligatory Millennium Falcon. This one is based off of the new movie, though, The Force Awakens. Well, not really new at this point. It's 2 years old. But you got the little, I guess, different dish right there. And I think this is a pretty strong miniature Millennium Falcon. I mean, it's not blowing my mind because these come in just about every advent calendar, but it's still nice to see at least the Force Awakens version in this super small scale. All right, next up, 13. And it's, I think it's Snowspeeder, actually. By the way, I have to note it's raining, so sorry about the occasional background noise, but this design right here, I assume, is the First Order Snowspeeder. Maybe I'm completely wrong, it's a different vehicle, but it doesn't really look like the First Order Snowspeeder. I mean, they kind of got some of the parts right, like the little gun on the left side, but yeah, I don't know what they were really going for here. It's not really minifigure scale, because I also thought it may have been just kind of like a little sled or something, but you really got one part to stand right there, and that would look incredibly awkward, I think, with the minifigures they provide. Okay, it doesn't look too bad, but yeah, I don't know what they were going for here. And it doesn't help that the First Order Snowspeeder barely appeared in the movie. I think it appeared for like a second in the movie, so it's not really a recognizable vehicle, but LEGO likes making it in so many different ways. I mean, they made a microfighter and a big set. But on to the next. And here is day 14, which is, oh, a Snow Trooper, First Order Snow Trooper. And the same that's said with Unkar's Thug could be said with this First Order Snow Trooper, because look, these are pretty easy to get even at the moment. I mean, I saw the microfighter with him at Walmart for $2.50, or was it $5? I don't remember, but it was on clearance. And this design, if this was a long-lasting set that would be on store shelves forever, it would make sense to include them in here, but it's going to be off shelves in a few months, so it's really just an easy way to get an easy-to-get minifigure, so I don't really understand that. You got that same face as the First Order Stormtrooper underneath, and weird enough, there's no, like, a little cloth or the kind of a thing that they had around their neck, so it's not even a complete First Order Snow Trooper. And day 15, we got, what is this? Huh. So this one I really like. This is like a little mini snow machine. I was confused at first, and then I was like, oh, this is cute. It's just the way you look at it. Like, this would be the front wheel that's kind of grinding up the snow, and then right there is the back wheels. It's really cute. I don't know. I like this one. And, of course, it is minifigure scale, so you can put the Snow Trooper to kind of hold it if you'd like. But, yeah, I like this build. It's kind of creative, even though it's not really Star Wars related. All right, day 16. Let's see what's inside. And it seems to be Chronic Shuttle, or it could be Kylo Ren Shuttle. We gotta see once it's built. So this would be Chronic Shuttle. At first I thought it was Kylo Ren's, but now it kind of makes sense. This was actually super hard to build because the instructions they give you are so small, it's hard to see all the placements. But the design for this is pretty cool because you could fold the wings if you want, down like this. And that's just a totally new vehicle. Looks like a chicken, and not like a chicken walker like AT-AT and all those, but yeah, this is really a cool build. It's nice to see some Rogue One stuff in here, even though I don't really like the movie too much. All right, day 17, after that pain to build, we got another figure. So here's the Imperial Officer, which actually has the dual pen torso design, which is pretty hard to find. I actually couldn't find that in any sets. There is one that was sort of like that, but it didn't have the creases on the bottom, so that's kind of interesting. Somebody in the comments, please tell me more about that torso, if it is exclusive or not. You see little wrinkles on the back, and he has kind of that peeved off face, which is also kind of rare as well. So this is a pretty good reprint, in my opinion. Day 18, what we got? It seems to be a Ywing. You got the Ywing, which of course is from the original trilogy, but was also in Rogue One. And this design's pretty cool. I like how they use different pieces. You know, it's not all brick-based. They use some little Technic connectors right there, some poles, even a little switch up front, and it kind of makes for a nice-looking vehicle. And you could actually position this as you'd like, even though that wouldn't really make sense for the vehicle. And yeah, that's really it for the Ywing. All right, day 19, almost done here. And it seems to be a TIE Striker, right? So the TIE Striker is another nice design from Rogue One. I like how they built this one as well, with the curved wings and also the use of the gold brick piece, but now it's just in gray in the middle. That looks really neat. And they do actually have some stud knot on top techniques, which is also nice. And yeah, this is a nice little miniature. All right, 20. Let's see what's inside. And this seems to be Imperial Shore, what is it called? Shore tank? I forgot. I'll say it right now. Sorry. Hover tank. That's it. The hover tank. I totally forgot. I like this gold bar in orange right there, which that's a cool color to get it in. And the design of this is pretty faithful. It looks a little bit weak on the sides with these little parts sticking out. But yeah, I think this is kind of cool to do as a small little vehicle. All right, 21. Let's see what's inside. And it is one of those Imperial Troopers from, the Death Star Trooper, is it? Yeah. Here's some Imperial Ground Crew, which this design was new for Rogue One, so I really like getting that helmet in a cheaper way. This is actually the cheapest way to get that helmet, and it only comes in about 2 sets. Nice torso design and leg design. So another nice reprint, and you can see his face underneath has a little bit of a command speaker. 22. And this is that ATAT type Walker from Rogue One. More Rogue One stuff, so I gotta Rogue One wasn't one of my favorite movies, I'll be honest. And I don't remember too much from it, or I've seen it twice though. So some of them I gotta look up and I'm like, oh, that's it. So this is the ATST. Yes, I know it wasn't just from Rogue One, but look, I totally blanked out on the vehicle for a second. Either way, the design of this, it's pretty good. I like how they have it all on the hind legs and how they actually make it still stable enough to stand up straight. And they have that little gunning part up front. So yeah, that's it for the ATST. All right, day 23. It is, oh crap, I ripped that one. Dang it, it's like a little Santa sled, but I could barely see it. And you get a little sled, which this design is pretty cute with the presents in the back. And of course you could fit a minifigure sitting down right there. And they could sled their merry way. All right, 24. It is the non-exclusive Santa BB8. And finally, it's Santa BB8 on a little snowboard. Man, I wish this was exclusive. I mean, there's no exclusive prints whatsoever. I mean, even the little attachment and everything, it's the same old BB8. You can see how they attached the hat by using a little stud inside there, which actually looks kind of awkward from the front. Either way, you can kind of see that stud popping out. It's just a little bit weird. I mean, couldn't they just make maybe the Santa hat in orange or something? Or just make BB-8s now kind of green with, or maybe just have lights all around him or something. But nope, they just went with the normal BB-8. No exclusive minifigure this time around, which is really a bummer. Either way, let's take a look at all the builds together on the little display mat. So here's how I arranged everything. You got the Rebel section, the Rogue One section, and then all the sequel trilogy stuff and Snow stuff right here, and some more sequel trilogy stuff over here. So that's it for the builds. Now I'll take a look at the box and the final verdict. So even though we already looked at the packaging, I want to note that the inside actually uses different material than usual. They now have styrofoam in here. Usually it's just plastic, but it's kind of interesting to see that it's all styrofoam inside. And for the back of the box, we got a little bit of cute little designs with all the builds kind of coming together. Not all of them, but some of them at least, not to spoil any. So, overall, this is probably the weakest Star Wars Advent calendar in a while. You're left with a lot of common minifigures because there's no exclusive minifigure whatsoever. You know, it's another BB-8, another First Order Stormtrooper, which that's a nice addition. Of course, Thug, which, another Resistance Trooper, But then you get some good, hard-to-find ones, like that Sabine Wren, and also these two from Rogue One. But it just doesn't feel like it's worth the money. It feels like, okay, they didn't do an exclusive figure this time. There's not really too many rare minifigures this time. They could have easily made this maybe cheaper, like $30. But no, it's still the same $40 price, even though it only has around 300 pieces. Definitely does not feel like a $40 set, I'll say that. So all that considered, I'd probably rate this one a C. You know, it's fun opening these up day by day, but it's just the selection this time around is really weak. I like the builds better than usual because we do get a lot of fresh stuff with the Rogue One stuff and the Force Awakens stuff and even Rebels, but it just feels like the minifigures should have been more interesting because that's the reason why a lot of people are buying this, besides the fact of, you know, opening them day by day. So that's just my 2 cents. Leave your thoughts and comments below, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.